All right.
We're on. Hold on, let me just listen here real quick. Okay.
All right. Awesome.
Okay, we're on. We're definitely on. I see the counter there. Yep.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yep, 018 and counting, 21 and counting, blah 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 blah. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, what the freak is going on here? All right.
You're gonna share the URLs, bro?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's why I was double checking everything.
Let me know, that way I can hit the music.
This is weird.
What's up?
It keeps logging me out.
Huh. That's... What am I doing here?
Whenever I hit the lock button.
Oh, that's odd.
Well, then don't hit the lock button.
I know, right?
Oh, that's weird. What the hell?
I know. Maybe I won't do it now.
Team Talk's having a temporary issue. I don't know.
There we go.
You're good?
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Okay, maybe she's not good.
I don't know. Hold on in 1 minute. What are you doing there, computer?
Huh.
Oh, what the
What?
fuck did I just do?
What?
I did it again.
We're good.
Kind of.
What'd you say?
Alright,
I said I
Facebook
did it
is
again,
there.
kind of.
What do you mean, kind
Gotta
of?
get Twitter.
Or maybe it didn't. I don't know.
Do I even have this? Shit.
Yo, like a language.
We're all good.
Yeah, because we're live.
We're live.
I understand. Almost said yes. Almost comments. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because we got to give YouTube a clean image.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you do it. The heck.
And listen, if hey YouTube, if you don't hear us cuss, that's one thing. Don't blame the instrumental or some of the songs that might come on the playlist, as you've heard. So it's not us. It's not us.
Nope.
Nope.
We didn't do it.
It's them.
It's them.
We didn't do it. I didn't do it. Yeah, no cussing, right? God, have kids listening.
Yeah, there's
Something.
yeah.
Yeah. Or you never know.
There's kids in the audience.
Excuse us. All right. We're good.
We're ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. I'm waiting for an all clear. Yep, all clear. Got it. There is a reason why they call it All In. I am absolutely all in. The wrestling community, the real wrestling community, is all in. The Bullet Club is all in. You know who else is all in? Lucha Underground, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, NJPW will all come together to give you this all-in extravaganza along with, as I mentioned earlier, the Bullet Club. And hello everybody, I am your boy, Baby Moy, alongside Crystal, known as Star Fox, and Austin, known as Zblade. And we are ENT Hooligans. We're bringing you another edition of Sports Vista. I had to do it.
That was cool.
That was pretty dope. Yes, sir.
I had to do it. Man, oh man, oh man. The bomb that was dropped this weekend. The Sears Center sells out in 29 minutes.
Wow.
I'll tell you guys how all that came about, but first, I want to welcome everybody who's watching live or everybody who's going to watch on the video on demand, as I like to call it, on the VOD. And also, please don't be afraid to subscribe, comment, and also hit that bell. That way you're always notified as there's what we here at ENT Hooligans are doing at all times. Follow us on social media. The links are down below on the video description. With that said,
That's right.
now that I've gotten you guys out of the way, actually, no, not entirely. I still have to send shout-outs, so here we go. Big shout-out to Anthony. Another shout-out to Tony. We always start with those two. I guess it's because they begin with A and they have similar names. And Ness, if you're going to listen to this, they are two entirely different people.
Yeah, Ness.
Yeah.
You hear that? Two entirely different people. Another shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Jeffrey, Charlene. Am I missing anybody? I feel like I'm missing somebody. I feel like I'm missing people. There's somebody I'm not mentioning.
Your mom and your dad.
Shout out to my mom and my dad. Oh man, I'm gonna hear this one.
Before you get in trouble.
After that one, am I missing anybody?
Shout out to John and Munawar
Yeah, shout
and
out
his
to
brother
John.
Murtaza.
I'm so damn
They'll
excited.
run that shot out.
I'm so damn excited. I can't remember people right now.
Shout out to my friend
Shout out-
Kathleen.
shout-
I don't know if she'll ever hear this, but you never
Shout
know.
out to Delilah, even though she ain't listening. But what up, girl?
Big shout out. Shout out to Bob and Barbara. What's up, guys? I know
Hey,
necessarily you guys aren't wrestling fans, but big shout out to you.
hey. Yeah, thanks for giving the podcast a shot anyways.
Exactly.
That's cool. I think we got everybody out the way.
Want to also send a shout out to Daniel Romero. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What up, Dan?
Wait, one more shout out to, besides yourself, who is a big, big wrestling fan as well, Jose.
That's right, my boy, my boy Jose. What's up, man?
Don't get mad at him. He's
Sorry
so
for forgetting you,
excited
man.
So
Oh, my
don't
gosh.
Get all upset.
Oh man, oh man, oh
And
man.
now we have covered. No, shout out to my Uncle Albert, who is a huge wrestling fan as well. That's all he watches.
Shout out, big shout out to you too. I'm all
that's
smiles
it.
today. I'm all smiles today.
All right.
I can't stop from smiling.
Now that's it.
So here we go. We send all the shout outs. We got all of the little people out of the... Let me stop. Nah, you guys are the biggest part of the show, actually. I'm not saying that just to say it. You guys are the driving force behind this. You dictate if whether or not we keep going or we stop. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're going to keep going no matter what y'all say. But y'all still the biggest part and driving force behind this. Y'all tell us where to go, what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, what to play, what not to play.
Whoa. I
What?
think they get it. What not to say and what to say?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
that's vital, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So I think, yeah, we're not missing anybody, right, Austin?
No, we're not missing anybody. We're all good, we're all in. As the theme of this weekend and the theme of this show, all in. It's a beautiful thing, guys.
I can't wait to, man.
But yes, you heard me. TNA, Lucha Underground, Ring of Honor, and New Japan come together to bring you this show.
Yes.
You know,
Wow.
the Young Bucks, Marty Scurll, and Cody, along with Kenny Omega and other members of Bullet Club, came together simply because Dave Meltzer, you guys know who Dave Meltzer is,
Yep.
playfully, I want to assume playfully, said that he places a bet on the opposing side in terms of Bullet Club not selling out a 10,000 plus arena. 10,000 seat plus arena. Of members of the Bullet Club took that seriously and decided to challenge him and take the bet seriously. And here we are today, realizing that the Sears Center sold out in 29 minutes.
Wow.
If this were to be an annual thing, what if their next step is the United Center? An even bigger venue. I promise they could sell that out too.
Oh yeah.
And other venues to come.
Sell at MSG?
Absolutely.
Me too.
Understand what's going on here. These organizations are proof that even though there is a big star looming and its name is WWE, you don't need WWE to be successful now in this day and age of professional wrestling.
Nope.
You do not need that conglomerate behind you.
Nope.
Once upon a time, it was a dream to be at WrestleMania. Hell, it still may be. But given the circumstance, given the nature of this beast, they've proven you don't need WWE. The Bullet Club members, especially Cody, his claim is that he's making way more money now than what he was in WWE. And that's not to say that WWE was giving him chump change. We all have discussed how WWE takes care of their own. However, Cody Rhodes was somebody who was stuck in mid-card for the majority of his tenure in WWE. Here he is main eventing at NJPW and Ring of Honor events. Besides that, we look at the Bullet Club's merchandise sales. They are selling out everywhere. When people tune into Raw, there are rows and rows of people wearing Bullet Club shirts.
Don't forget about the Too Sweet chant.
Oh yeah, of course.
On Raw.
They also have merchandise sales via Hot Topic. Funko Pops. I mean, you're the only entity outside of WWE who's gotten that deal. That's a big deal, people. Now, personally, to me as a wrestling fan, here I go. I started watching wrestling when I was 4. That's no secret to those who aren't new here. My first glimpse of wrestling was WWF, which then turned to WCW at the time. And it was fun. The Monday Night Wars were fun. Even before that, it was fun in spite of the crapfest that was the New Generation era. Now, having the understanding of New Generation era going over to the Attitude era, I understand that wrestling goes through transition periods. We have moments in which things are going to be stale, and you have to pretty much roll with the punches. That's a given, that's a fact. However, I was under the impression, to some degree, that maybe WWE was going through a transitional phase. And maybe that's why things were stagnant and stale. Maybe that's why they were in a rut. Maybe that's why scripts were as crappy and the wrestling content was as crappy as it is. Even though, given the talent pool that WWE has, it shouldn't be. Understand? Mm-hmm. However, after so much, after being in that abusive relationship, I said no more. I opted out. And I couldn't be any happier. I tuned into TNA this past week, and I was absolutely pleased with what I saw on Impact. I tuned into their pay-per-view, which passed a couple of weeks ago. I believe it was 3 weeks ago. And I was absolutely happy with what I saw. I'm happy with the fact that they've gotten partnerships with Lucha Underground. And I'm happy with the fact that they've got a deal with Pro Wrestling Noah. A lot of people like to say that wrestling is not what it used to be. And they're absolutely right. Wrestling now, in some weird way, even though the Attitude Era was big, but now, it's never been any hotter. And I'm glad to say that we are in the position that we're in now. Because in this day and age of professional wrestling, we have choices. We have choices. We have Impact, NJPW, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground. We don't need to be confined. We don't need to be secluded. We don't need to be barricaded by that fence, that evil, evil fence that is the WWE conglomerate. We are here. This is what it is. The Bullet Club single-handedly have proven that you do not need WWE. Who's on this card? Besides members of the Bullet Club, from what I could remember, this is just off the top of my head. Tessa Blanchard.
Oh.
Yeah. Kazuchika Okada. Yeah, that's a big name. Tessa Blanchard, that's a big name as well.
That's a big name too, yeah.
So just think about it. Rey Mysterio.
Oh, wow.
Possibly CM Punk. I mean, unbelievable. What awaits us? Who's going to be matched up with who? What are we going to see? Who's going to steal the show? That's the intrigue that this brings. Oh, Pentagon Jr. Forgot about him.
Really?
Yes. this is going to be beyond star-studded. We are going to see the best of the best. Now, they asked, at the presser, they asked, will this be streamed? I say yes. They teased it, but they know it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's a big possibility. A huge possibility. Streaming this on Twitch. Now, if they stream this on Twitch, everybody will get an opportunity to watch this for free.
Yes.
Which would then propel more fans to watch these other organizations. Mm-hmm. Because you're giving them a free opportunity to watch this on a platform that is immensely popular nowadays, which is Twitch. You put this on Twitch, yo, brother man, you have no idea what you just done. And I mean that in a good way.
Wow.
Exactly. Wow, that's crazy. Huh.
And that's a huge possibility. I wouldn't be saying that if I didn't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big possibility that these boys could be streaming this on Twitch.
That's amazing. And they wouldn't have to, you know, it could go as long as they want it to.
Of course.
Because they wouldn't have any limits or, you know, restrictions of networks or anything like that.
Think about this, folks. Take a moment. For those who are WWE purists, for those who are living under that stupid rock, think about this real quick. How many times have you sat there after an episode of Raw and or SmackDown, or after a horrendous pay-per-view which was Backlash, and WWE thankfully got absolutely that backlash after that horrendous showcasing of crap? How many times have you sat there afterwards and said, damn, I feel depressed. Damn, I feel unhappy. Damn it, I'm sad. Damn it, I'm frustrated. How many? Too many to count, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you tell me no, then you are a delusional you-know-what. If you tell me no, then you don't deserve to be watching wrestling. Or at most, you deserve to be called a WWE fan and get rid of a wrestling fan title.
Mm-hmm.
I watch NJPW. I recently started watching Impact. I watch all these other organizations. You ain't gonna hear one complaint out of me. Sure, there are things that even they could tweak up, but again, no organization is perfect. But for the most part, I leave out of there saying, I just watched the greatest thing my eyes and ears could bestow on.
Because once again, it's match after match after match. We don't see a lot of storyline backstage stuff. That doesn't make sense to you. I mean, because how many times have you watched Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view and say to yourself, that storyline didn't make any sense to me because it's just not relevant.
Plenty.
Or it's not even centered around a belt.
Plenty.
Right. Yeah.
Too many times,
Crazy.
right?
Yeah.
Like you said,
Like,
you know.
yeah. It's crazy.
I am sure that 73 years old senile McMahon is sitting there watching. He's not stupid. His decisions in terms of who he decides to push is stupid. But he's not stupid.
Nope.
And I bet you right now he's, even though he'll never admit it, he's tripping.
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't fall for it, folks. Vince will promise you the moon, the stars, the galaxy, the universe. Part of the pun.
But he won't deliver it.
Yeah.
And he'll tease you. He'll tease you.
Yep.
It's like going to a strip club, you know? She'll tease you and then you get nothing out of the deal.
Oh, man.
It's just like that.
Oh, man. Wow.
You know?
Or it's like you going to a barbecue and you smelling the meats and stuff and they tell you, oh, there's no more left.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Don't fall for it.
Wow.
Please don't. Please don't.
Come to the good side, folks.
Yep.
It's a side in which you'll never be disappointed. You'll always have a couple of matches to take from a particular card and say, man, that, and that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
There's always match of the night. There's always something that you could smile about.
Yep.
There's always something that you're going to be talking about. Whether it's what's his face? Whether it's Chris Jericho attacking Naito.
Oh, yeah.
Or the crazy antics of Minoru Suzuki.
Yep.
Whether it's you talking about how long Kazuchika Okada has held that belt for. Whether it's...
Wrestling,
Excuse me?
or in Impact Wrestling, what's going to happen with Sami Callihan and Don Callis?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. Not only that, but there's the other party in the mix of all this. You know? Eddie Edwards.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people don't know Eddie Edwards and Callahan are friends in real life.
I figured.
Oh, wow.
They're good friends.
I figured they were.
Elaborate. How'd you
Wow.
figure?
That's interesting.
Because you don't have matches like that with just somebody that you just recently met. You don't feel that way emotionally. I mean, they are emotionally... I feel like when they tell the story, and, you know, I just started watching this last week, along with you, Mo, and I feel like it's emotion to their storyline, and they tell it in such a way
That's crazy.
that you feel what they're feeling. You get mad, you get sad, you get upset. I felt so bad for Callahan's, not Callahan, was it? No, I'm sorry, not Callahan's, Edward's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and she got decked?
That, and she was stalked.
Yeah.
Wow.
I felt bad because that's scary.
I mean, that is a hell of a story.
It is.
You know, WWE could learn from this.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Hell, WWE doesn't even need to go too far. They could learn from a little island I call NXT.
NXT.
Ooh.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, or am I crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I crazy?
And, you know,
I
it's
was about
like
to say that, yeah.
our colleague Ness said, you know, how can it be under WWE NXT? You know, NXT, I feel, and Ness feels, and I think we all feel, that it feels like a different company.
Yeah.
They have a completely different team in terms of their writing staff, in terms of what they like to call creative.
Mm-hmm.
Even though in this case it applies because they are creative, unlike those other boys over there.
Yeah, which I don't understand it, because Raw and SmackDown are the mothership shows. I don't get it.
Are they really?
That they would be... No.
Well,
I mean, but that's what
they
they're
should
called.
Be, but, you know.
I mean, that's what people call them.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I can appreciate about Impact is the fact that on their weekly show, you don't have a commercial cut until the match is over.
Yeah, in the middle of a freaking match, right.
They don't cut to a commercial break in the middle of a match just to have the benefit of a rest hold period.
That really used to drive me up the wall. You know? And, I mean, like, you know, me, I mean, yes, I'm a wrestling fan, but not like these guys. And, you know, people, they would tell me, they'd be like, hey, you should watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown for podcast sakes. And I tried to, and I couldn't. Like we'd be flipping channels during the show, you know? And
Yeah.
I legitimately couldn't keep up with it, and I tried to for, like, I don't know how long, maybe over a month. I'm like,
I think it was.
I can't follow this garbage. I can't follow it.
I don't remember. And honestly, you know, every time we watch a pay-per-view or things of that nature, I believe we all left very disappointed.
Yeah. Like, even New Japan's regular shows, to me, they personally feel like a pay-per-view. It really does.
Like you mean like besides their big shows like
yes,
like Wrestle Kingdom or Sakura Genesis or coming up right now in June?
Yeah, well, like anything we watch from New Japan, it really feels like a pay-per-view to me. It really does. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I've been watching New Japan for almost a year, and I've never once have I been like, oh God, you know, New Japan's gonna come on, you know? I'm like, no, I can't wait for New Japan.
It's like I was saying, you know, it's like I was saying in a previous podcast that it's a thing. I get food ready, I get drinks ready, I get all sorts of stuff ready for New Japan. I've never ever in my life done that.
Yeah,
with WWE,
because it feels like a pay-per-view, like literally. It's crazy. Any show, just even a regular show, they do.
Right.
And then their pay-per-views are just that much more. You're like, holy crap. You know.
And you know, and Impact, you know, I felt like,
I can't wait
oh my
for that.
gosh, you know, I wanted more.
And the fact that they showcase the global side of things in terms of showing you matches from other promotions. I mean that's a big deal. The fact that you had a pay-per-view almost entirely dedicated to Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling, or as many still call it, TNA.
Wow. Huh.
That's a big deal, man.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's crazy stuff. It's
So no, when people say that wrestling is done, look around, man.
Yeah.
It's very much alive. You watch. Listen to me. You watch anything outside of WWE, you know what you find? You find energy. You find excitement. You find love, prestige. You find honor. Again, part of the pun.
Yeah.
You find essentially what the foundation of all of this is, and it's a word I like to call wrestling. It's a place where wrestling and the wrestlers and the in-ring content dominate.
Yep.
Yeah.
How awesome that our next event for New Japan is called Dominion, huh?
I know, right?
gosh. That's... Oh my goodness.
I can't wait.
A
for
Dominion show in which we're going to have a 2 out of 3 falls match for the strap.
Oh my
For the
God.
strap. Once again, Omega versus Okada.
Oh,
We're going to have a Rey Mysterio Jr. taking on Jushin Thunder Liger, most likely. Tatsuya Naito versus Chris Jericho.
holy crap, man.
You know, as soon as you said that, I started picturing chairs and, you know, kendo sticks
Yeah.
being thrown into the ring. That's amazing to me.
That's...
I'm not sure what the stipulation to that is going to be, but it could be. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
We're just going to have to wait and find out.
Now, here's the crazy thing. After this all-in extravaganza, fast forward the tape a little bit, and Chris Jericho is going to have his wrestling on the ship.
Oh, well.
Yep.
Again featuring wrestlers from said organizations.
Wow. That's awesome.
Now get this. If this doesn't convince you not to be a WWE fan, I don't know what will. But Jericho pitched this to WWE. This whole wrestling on a ship. You know what they told him? No. It's not a good idea.
Right.
But yet, the Bullet Club strikes a deal with all these organizations.
Yep.
Exactly.
Now, the proverbial deal. And it falls through. They
Wow.
pretty much have put together a show that is worthy of perhaps being called the greatest thing to ever happen to wrestling.
Wow.
Think about it. Members from 4 different wrestling organizations, and who knows, maybe more, coming together to give you guys the showcase of all showcases.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If this is an annual thing, this could be up there with Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Do you know?
For sure.
I want you guys listening to us. Do you know how amazing it must feel to know that if WWE, if Vince came on your door, the feeling that you get in knowing that you can tell him no, and you're going to be well off afterwards?
Yeah.
The fact that you were able to move that small island and turn it into something that now we all love. Turn it into something that there's excitement for. Turn it into something that there's hype for. The fact that you're selling out merchandise, the fact that you've sold out a building, the fact that you're doing this without the machine, without the empire that is WWE. That is amazing. That is impressive, and that is worthy of hyping yourself over.
Oh, yeah.
There aren't enough words for me as a wrestling fan to illustrate, to demonstrate, to really express the joy, the happiness, to express just that feeling of everything is all right in the world of wrestling, of something that I love. Wrestling, which is the one childhood aspect of me that I hold on to. It's you know, it's beyond it's beyond words, beyond action, beyond feeling. It's something that only people in this circle could understand.
Yes. And that's amazing.
What I'm feeling right now, I mean, knowing what is in front of us, knowing what is to come, and yet not knowing what we're going to see. Only going by the fact that everything is okay. Only going by the fact that we're getting wrestling. We're getting material. We're getting source. And sources. We're getting action. We're getting emotionally invested. We're smiling. We're crying out of joy. All because it goes back to it's okay. Things are cool in the world of professional wrestling.
Yep.
The joy that this brings me, after enduring all this crap, to come out of that fire, to see sunshine, to have fresh air. That's amazing, man. I like not knowing what we're going to see. Especially knowing that what we're going to see will be beyond what words can describe.
Right.
I like that. I've always said...
Unknowing.
Go ahead.
It's the unknowing that I think captivates me, because I like suspense, you know? Like, oh, what's going to happen next? You know, I won't go on to Wikipedia and you know, try to look at results and things. Like, I don't want to know any of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's amazing to me.
Sorry about that, folks. I've always said these organizations, even if it's just for a moment, need to come together and make magic. You know, I'm going to go back to this. WrestleMania is a dream. Main eventing WrestleMania is a dream. But to be able to say no to WWE, that's a big deal. For you to know that you can say no. And for you to realize, hey, I'm fine without them. It's not spite. It's not arrogance. It's reality. Now, I knew that these boys had the drawing power to sell out a place.
Oh, yeah.
I was not expecting 29 minutes.
29 minutes.
Huh.
That's crazy.
If that doesn't show you how hot these other wrestling organizations are, I don't know what does. If this doesn't prove to anybody that wrestling is alive and well, I don't know what does. Wrestling is breathing, not on life support. It's walking on its 2 feet, has 20/20 vision, isn't hearing impaired. And that's another thing. I want to get to that. Our requests do not fall on deaf ears when it comes to these other wrestling organizations. Vince, you hear them booing Roman Reigns and you don't turn him heel. Instead, you continue to shove him down their throats, forcing them to accept him as a face, forcing them to accept something that they don't want. It's like feeding me boxed mac and cheese. I hate that crap. I love mac and cheese, not just... I just don't like mac and cheese from the box. But that's what they're doing. But when it comes to New Japan and other wrestling companies, they listen. They know the matches we want. They know what we want to see. They don't just tuck their tail in between their legs if something doesn't essentially give them the results that they were hoping for. They dust themselves off and they go at it again.
Yep.
That's what you do. It's that don't give up mentality. I'm going to ask you guys to think about one more thing here. Now, I know in terms of MMA, I've been real critical of this guy. But I've always been careful to say I take nothing away from his wrestling persona, from his in-ring ability in terms of wrestling. CM Punk is going to be there at an autograph signing a day prior to the All In event. Can you imagine if CM Punk ends up being a part of this show, even if it's for him, even if it's just a matter of him making an announcement of sort, maybe proclaiming a match against somebody, maybe hyping up next year's All In if that's where they're going with this, maybe hyping up a Wrestle Kingdom appearance, or an appearance at a Ring of Honor event, at Final Battle maybe in December. Just the fact of him being there. CM Punk is a big name, whether we want to swallow that pill or not. And if he is a part of this All-In show, to whatever capacity, WWE's in trouble, man.
Oh, yeah. They are.
Daniel Bryan, his contract is almost up. And even though he has seen in-ring action, he hasn't signed anything yet. Who knows how that's going to end? But if they manage to pull him at some point, oh my.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine the buzz that will create. I mean, there's already enough buzz with this whole Bullet Club charade and not even, I mean charade in a good way. Never thought you'd hear that, huh, folks? I'm just saying. possibilities are endless. By the way, listen to Endless Possibilities here on ENT Hooligans, which we bring to you from time to time as well.
Yep.
Nice segue.
Just figured out. Yeah, exactly.
I was about to say that myself, but yeah. Yes. Yep.
And by the way, that reminds me, tune in on Thursday. We'll be bringing you our 99th video.
Yes.
And that is also marking our 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
That's right.
And the 100th video, guys, if you only knew.
It's coming up.
It'll be worth the wait, I will tell you that. It is in July. Sometime.
Yes, so there will be a long hiatus from this Thursday
But it'll be
till.
very worth it. You guys will be like...
And if you guys want to
That's
listen
how
to
we do it.
previous videos, feel free to
tide you over.
check out, the YouTube channel.
And if you check out those videos, if you go back, you'll get to see our evolution as a team, even as people, as entertainers.
Yep.
You'll see how we started and where we are now.
It's crazy. It's been a year.
But we'll talk about that on Thursday.
On Thursday, yeah. Yes.
We're gonna.
And here's...
Okay, go ahead.
Here's something else. I really don't know if this ties in, but I just thought of it. Because I remember when I first started watching New Japan, I was like, how the heck am I going to follow it? I've never really watched wrestling like that in my life. But, it really isn't that hard to follow, honestly. Because I was that interested in it. I was like, I want to learn about it, because until then, the only wrestling I watched is WWE. I was like, yeah, okay, that really sucks. So... It's crazy, man.
So in comparison to WWE, what makes it easier to follow?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
Besides the drawing power, I mean, what?
An interesting question. I think the commentary, to be honest with you, and I know this point has been brought up here before.
Plenty.
Because the commentators, they actually have the freaking freedom to say what they need to say. Oh, heaven forbid you say belt on WWE or something, I mean, gee whiz. That's that. I just saw that, like, wait a minute, I know what it is. Yeah, they can be legitimate commentators. They don't worry about, can't say the word belt. What is this, 7 words you can't say on TV or something, I don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
Crazy.
I have a feeling that if there were no English commentary, I'd still watch it anyways.
I still would too, honestly.
And that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because, once again, it's match after match after match.
Yeah.
They tell the story in the ring.
Exactly.
Kurt. They tell the story in the ring.
You can't blame Kurt for that one, though. He's only
doing what he was told to do.
Again, what he was told to do. I mean, really, they all do what they're told to do, obviously.
Exactly. You can't blame them.
But
if you want to,
on the commentary side of things, you're not shackled.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
And they don't go off in all these different directions while a match is going on either.
Yes, that's another thing.
They stick to calling the match.
And yeah, granted, there are times that Don Callis will say something totally out of left field.
But that's different, though. And you kind of expect it. And you look forward to it. Like, okay.
I mean, he'll even mention how good looking I am.
Yeah.
He doesn't know you, sir.
I see him looking at me all the time when he's on TV.
He's looking at the camera. He's not looking at you directly.
He's making it easy for me to peer into his eyes.
If you want somebody
gosh.
if you want somebody to look at you, go to Google and look at
Wow.
Vegeta. He'll look at you at night.
No, that freaked the hell out of me. I have a Vegeta wallpaper on my phone, and at nighttime, it looks like the eyes are glowing and peering straight at you.
Well,
No.
you know, then you can
Wow.
gaze lovingly in his eyes.
Who, Vegeta or Don Callis?
Yeah, Vegeta. After Don Callis.
No. Nah, I'm good. I like women. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, no offense to anyone who's into the same sex thing. I mean, much love to you guys too. So,
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
yeah, definitely big up to you guys. I'm
See?
I'm a supporter. So,
See?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we all are
Same here.
hooligans, you know.
But don't.
And you know, see guys, we got off
Anyways.
course a little bit,
Hey, wherever works for you, man. But
you know. But nobody's gonna fault us for that, because we're not scripted.
but yeah, let me ask you, Crystal, what makes it easy for you
Sure.
to follow these other companies versus? I mean, look, obviously, you're eventually going to be able to follow WWE because they only give you but video packages every week. But outside of that, I guess what I want to ask is, what makes it not brutal to watch?
There are really the video packages that we see are brief. They're not like 5. They're not like 10 minutes long. At least it feels that way with WWE. And it's not I feel like it's not the same video package over and over and over. And what I mean by that is, okay, we're watching the pre-show at a pay-per-view thing, right? Pay-per-view event.
Pertaining
We
to
see the video package pertaining to. I'm sorry. Okay, so say we're watching the pre-show for a WWE event such as Backlash.
yeah,
Okay. Say they show a video package of Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. Then we go into the pay-per-view event itself. Right before the match starts with Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, we see the same video package again. And it takes 10 minutes to view this video package.
oh
Maybe not that long,
god,
but that's what it feels like.
yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
and the
And
thought
you're
is,
sitting there
damn it, I
going-
gotta watch this again.
like, for real?
Exactly.
God, why?
Like, where's the fast forward button on this thing?
Seriously.
Yeah, and there's not.
You know, that's the
A
thing that
fast
drove me
forward
up the wall. I'm
button.
like, oh my
And
God,
so that's one thing. You know, and like you said, it's easy to follow because we get video packages every week. But as far as the other companies go, the video packages aren't long, and they're brief and to the point. And it's just like I said, and I'm gonna stick to this. It's nothing but wrestling in that ring. And it's easy for you to follow because they're telling the story within the ring. You can follow the wrestling.
Exactly.
And what's cool is sometimes they'll even explain to you what a particular move is.
Yeah.
Sometimes. It doesn't happen all the time,
Sometimes.
but sometimes they do.
I want to just
Which
squeeze
is
this.
really cool.
I want to just squeeze this in. Folks, subscribe to NJPW, please. Go to NJPW World, subscribe. And for those who don't know how to read Japanese, go on Google and there is a translator. There's also an app that you can download on your Amazon Fire Stick. So please, and it works. And it'll all be translated in English, and there's English commentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
That way you can.
Matter of
follow
fact, there's a
English
section-
experience.
Yeah. Matter of fact, there's a section that you could click on which will only give you English content.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So if you're worried about that language barrier, don't. Also, subscribe to the Global Wrestling Network. Got it.
It literally is global, folks.
It really is. That's Impact's version of their streaming site. I'm not sure if you get live pay-per-views. I think you do. It looks like you do. But on top of that, you get TNA's library. You get events from other organizations. A lot of them which I haven't heard of, but I have heard of Pro Wrestling Noah, CMLL. So it's a good deal, and they're both $8.
That's a Hulu subscription, you guys.
They're both $8, and they're a better. It is, and they're way better than the Total Divas network.
Yep.
Because no matter what time of day you go on the WWE network, what's streaming live is Total Divas.
Mm-hmm. Or the Bellas.
Really? That's another thing used to piss me off about them. I'm like, you know what? And then that's another thing, man. Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. If you people are sick of the same old crap, you should cancel your WWE subscription as well. I'm just being real. You know, because money talks, man. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Shoot.
I know I canceled my sub.
You know what? Yeah, exactly.
I definitely canceled my subscription. I don't need it.
I canceled my subscription 5 years ago.
I never even had one.
I've never looked back.
Thank goodness I never had one. I almost did, but I'm like, no. Yeah, that's they changed their name to Total Diva Network.
Sincerely.
Oh God.
Really?
Wow.
But this is where we're at in wrestling. And I emphasize, wrestling is alive.
And it's well.
Think about this. The internet is such a powerful tool. There's no escaping wrestling. You're going to come across it whether you're a fan or not. You're going to see it. I'm sure for those folks who are on my personal Facebook account, I'm sure those listed on there see my heavy promotion of these companies. They may all not be fans, but damn it, they see it.
Yep.
They see it. They see me sharing things from Pro Wrestling Tees, New Japan, Impact. There's a plethora of other pages that I could sub to. In terms of Facebook, that is. No, folks. I'm gonna go back here. I strongly urge, suggest, hell, I'd even plead and beg for you guys to get rid of that network and subscribe to NJPW World. Subscribe to Global Wrestling Network. Global Wrestling Network.
Wow.
Global Wrestling Network.
Yep.
Oh, but doesn't the second W in WWE mean wrestling too? No. It's just there for decoration. Because you know what? Wrestling means crap when it comes to that company.
Oh, yeah. You can say that again.
Does anyone here on the panel have any questions? Have anything they want to add on to this? Anything that they want to say in terms of any personal feelings, in terms of what's going on nowadays in the world of professional wrestling?
The only thing that I want to say is I'm so glad that we have other
outlets,
companies that we can that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, other outlets that we
Exactly.
can go to.
Yes. Exactly.
We're not in this era of, oh, it's just WWE, you know. Like you said, now we have the technology, we have the internet. We have streaming services now. Back when we were growing up, that wasn't possible.
Nope. We had to pay $30 a month for a pay-per-view event, and then we had to stick to only watching the USA Network for Raw. At the time, it was UPN for SmackDown, and TBS and TNT for Nitro and Thunder.
Yep.
Gosh, yeah, I do remember that. Wow. Holy crap.
Yep.
Oh, crap.
Now it's the internet, and it's an app.
Available on multiple different platforms.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And on demand, too. You know? So if you can't watch it live, it's no problem. Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Which means you can go back and rewatch it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I know this is random, but I forgot to send a shout out. I want to send a shout out to Lil Dove. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for supporting the channel. So, one love to you, and one love to your channel as well. So check that out.
Nice.
Yeah, she sings, she plays multiple instruments, and, you know, a talent all around, so.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Done a couple of covers, instrumentally, vocally.
Oh.
So big up, big
Oh,
up.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty dope,
Have to check
actually.
that channel out.
Yeah, I do want to check that out now, actually.
Yeah.
So a big shout out to you. But yeah, folks, listen, we're in a day and age where, again, as I stated before, and as they've stated, we are not tied up. We're not bound to this WWE machine anymore. And it feels good. And it's right.
It sure does.
Yep.
But I think we've squozen all of the juice out of this lemon. What do you guys say?
Yeah. Oh,
Squozen.
yeah.
I'm sorry, that word's
For
funny.
sure. Yeah.
But anyway, folks,
Yes, I think we have.
with all that, folks, really, I mean, I hope you guys are as excited as I am, and I hope you guys realize how special of an occasion, how special of a moment, how special of an attraction and event this will be.
Yes, and, you know, I want to emphasize, he's not the only person that's excited on this panel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We all are, yeah.
I am, like, literally coming apart. I'm like, I want to watch this now. Inside, I'm jumping up and down like a little kid at the candy store.
And don't forget, you know, next month we have Dominion and GPW Dominion,
right.
as I went over a while back. And we also have the G1 special. We have the G1 tournament as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which is basically a month's worth of competition, eliminations, this, that, and the third.
Oh, yeah.
It's
The most
really cool
grueling
stuff.
tournament in all of wrestling.
Oh, yes. I've never seen a tournament like this. It's amazing.
The winner getting awarded a title shot against what I'm going to presume to be against Kenny Omega. That's my pick for Omega Okada 3.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
No, I'm sorry.
Already.
Yeah. Would it be
It would be 3. You're right.
2, 3? No, 4. 4.
4.
Four.
Yeah,
Wow.
4.
Yeah, because it's 1 win Okada, a draw, 1 win Omega. So here we go.
Wow.
Tiebreaker.
Wow.
And do you guys know why? I want to make one more point. For those of you saying, oh, they've already fought 4 times. Yeah, but you know why it works? Because the matches are spread out.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not, like, okay, it's a pay-per-view. Okay, it's, I don't know, Backlash. So we're going to have these 2 people fight it out. Okay, it's another pay-per-view, I don't know, 3 weeks later. We're going to have these same 2 fight it out. And it keeps going and going and going and going. It's not spread out like
Right.
this.
Exactly.
Which makes it boring.
Exactly.
I don't want to see the same thing every pay-per-view.
No, nobody does.
No.
Wow.
No. Okay, it was the first. It was the first. It was really cool the first couple of times. But now the nostalgia has worn off. Sorry, AJ Styles and Nakamura.
It ain't their fault.
I know. That's why I feel bad.
It ain't their fault.
It's not. And that's a comforting feeling, I think, to know that it's not their fault and they're not doing it intentionally.
But that's there, and this is this. I mean, my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once again, I'm going to stress,
I'm super
please
excited.
subscribe to these wrestling organizations. Please, please, stop
Yeah.
abusing yourself. Stop putting yourself through this. Stop it.
Yeah.
Please. Please, I beg. Please. Move to the light. Embrace wrestling for what it should be. You have a voice. Use it. All right? You have a foundation. Stand on it. With that said, folks, I once again want to take the time to thank all of you for your support, for your love, for your words. And we're going to bring you guys more content, even though after Thursday we're going on a hiatus. We're still going to bring you guys content regardless. Keep your ears and your eyes open, because you never know what we're going to hit you with.
Thursday. That's
I mean, think about it. We wasn't planning to do a podcast today, but here we are.
This was a spur of the moment thing, literally.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But with that, man, just want to encourage you guys to have a beautiful rest of your casual Tuesday. May your day be blessed and productive, and that also pertains to may your week be blessed and productive as well. And as I always like to say in everything that you do, keep God first. If you believe in God, keep Him first and number one in your life. And if you don't, well, keep yourself number one in your life.
Yep.
With that said, folks, stay blessed, be cool, chill, and see ya!
Miserable.